What if I told you that everything you've been told about castor oil for your skin is dangerously incomplete? What if the reason millions of women over 60 are still seeing wrinkles, sagging skin, and dullness after using castor oil for months is not because the oil doesn't work, but because they've been using it completely alone, without the one ingredient that unlocks its true power? Today, I'm going to change everything you think you know about this ancient remedy. And by the end of this video, I promise you, your skincare routine will never be the same again. Stay with me, because what I'm about to share with you in the next few minutes has helped women in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s wake up to skin that looks a decade younger. Not through surgery, not through expensive serums, and not through anything that harms your body. This is nature working the way it was always meant to. But there's a secret combination at the heart of it, and most dermatologists will never tell you this because it doesn't cost a single pharmaceutical dollar. Before I get into the combination, I want you to take a moment and think about your skin. Think about the last time you looked in the mirror and felt truly beautiful. For many of you watching right now, that moment may feel like it was a lifetime ago. And I want you to know, I see you. I understand the quiet sadness that comes when you don't recognize the face looking back at you. The wrinkles, the hollowness, the loss of that glow you once had. You are not alone in this feeling. And more importantly, this is not inevitable. This is not just aging. This is biology, and biology can be influenced. Now let's talk about what castor oil actually does inside your skin, because this is where the science gets extraordinary. Castor oil is composed primarily of ricinoleic acid, approximately 85 to 90%, which is a rare omega-9 fatty acid found almost nowhere else in nature. When ricinoleic acid penetrates the dermis, it does something remarkable. It binds to EP3 prostaglandin receptors, which are responsible for stimulating collagen-producing cells called fibroblasts. More fibroblast activity means more collagen. More collagen means firmer, plumper, more youthful-looking skin. This is not marketing. This is published biochemistry. But here is the problem that nobody talks about. Castor oil on its own is incredibly thick, one of the heaviest oils known to cosmetic science. Its molecular weight is so high that it often cannot fully penetrate the lipid barrier of mature skin, which after 60 has already thinned and lost much of its natural moisture retention ability. So what happens? The castor oil sits on the surface, doing a fraction of what it's capable of, and women give up after weeks of minimal results. Does this sound familiar to you? This is why I need you to comment below right now. Tell me your age and your number one skin struggle. Is it deep wrinkles, sagging along the jaw, dark spots, dry, papery texture? Because understanding where you are is how I help you get to where you want to be. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please do that right now. Every single week, I bring you science-backed, doctor-informed wisdom designed specifically for women over 60. Because you deserve information that actually works for your body at this stage of life. Now, the secret combination. Are you ready? Because this is the moment everything changes. The oil you need to mix with castor oil is rosehip seed oil. And before you say, I've heard of that, I want you to understand that what you probably don't know is why these two oils together create a biological reaction in your skin that neither could ever produce alone. This is what scientists call a synergistic effect, where two compounds, when combined, produce results that are exponentially more powerful than either could achieve individually. Let me explain exactly why this happens, because the mechanism is nothing short of astonishing. Rosehip seed oil is one of the richest natural sources of trans-retinoic acid, which is the naturally occurring precursor to tretinoin, the prescription vitamin A compound that dermatologists have used for decades to reverse photoaging. But unlike synthetic retinoids, which can cause burning, peeling, and inflammation, especially on mature skin, the trans-retinoic acid in rosehip oil is delivered in a lipid matrix that your skin recognizes and accepts. It also contains a powerful concentration of vitamin C in the form of ascorbic acid precursors, linoleic acid, and gamma-linolenic acid. Now here's what happens when you combine it with castor oil. The lighter molecular structure of rosehip seed oil acts as a carrier vehicle. It penetrates deeply and quickly, and it pulls the ricinoleic acid from the castor oil along with it, driving it past the lipid barrier and directly into the dermis where the fibroblast cells are waiting. This is called a co-delivery mechanism, and it transforms castor oil from a surface-level moisturizer into a deep tissue collagen stimulator. 7 days. That's how quickly women are beginning to see visible results when they use this combination correctly. Let me tell you about Margaret. Margaret is 68 years old, a retired school teacher from Ohio, and she wrote to me 8 months ago in what I can only describe as quiet desperation. She had been using castor oil for 4 months after seeing videos about it online, and she had seen almost no results. Her forehead lines were deep, her nasolabial folds had deepened significantly since menopause, and she told me, "I've stopped looking at photos of myself, I let my grandchildren take pictures, and I just stay out of frame." When Margaret began the castor oil and rosehip seed oil combination, using the precise ratio I'm about to share with you, she messaged me at day 7. She said the texture of her skin had changed overnight. By day 14, her daughter noticed the difference without being told anything had changed. By 6 weeks, Margaret was back in the family photos. She told me, "For the first time in years, I feel like myself again." That is not a small thing. That is a woman reclaiming her place in her own life. The ratio that Margaret used, and that I recommend based on the clinical reasoning around viscosity, penetration depth, and fatty acid concentration, is 2 parts rosehip seed oil to 1 part castor oil. You mix this in your palm, warm it slightly between your fingers, and apply it to cleansed skin in gentle upward strokes, focusing on the areas of deepest concern: the forehead, the crow's feet, the upper lip, the jaw, wherever time has written its marks most deeply. You do this at night, consistently, because skin cell regeneration peaks between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., and the combination you've applied becomes active during this window of biological repair. In the morning, you cleanse gently and apply your usual moisturizer. That is the entire protocol. Simple, accessible, and for the cost of 2 small bottles that last for months, more affordable than 1 tube of anything sold at a department store counter.
Now I want to tell you about Dorothy. Dorothy is 74, and she found this channel during what she described as a very low point. Her husband had passed away 2 years before, and she told me that grief had aged her a decade in 18 months. She stopped caring for her skin entirely. She said, "I felt like beauty was something for other people now." A friend suggested she try this combination, and Dorothy started, not because she believed it would work, but because doing something, anything, felt better than doing nothing. What happened to Dorothy over the following month was not just physical. Yes, her skin brightened. Yes, the deep lines above her brows softened considerably. But what Dorothy described was something deeper. She said, "I started looking in the mirror again, and then I started going outside again, and then I started calling my friends again." Skin confidence has a ripple effect that science is only beginning to understand.
When we feel good in our own skin, we engage more fully with life. And for women in their later decades, that engagement is everything. I also want to share the story of Linda, 62, who came to this combination specifically because of something called menopausal skin collapse, a term I use to describe the rapid deterioration in skin elasticity that follows the estrogen drop of menopause. Estrogen is one of the primary hormones responsible for stimulating collagen production, and when it declines, skin can lose up to 30% of its collagen in the first 5 years after menopause. Linda experienced this and felt completely blindsided by how quickly her skin changed. She began the rosehip and castor oil protocol, and within 10 days, she noticed that the skin along her jawline, which had become visibly loose, felt firmer to the touch. Not tight, not pulled. Firm, the way healthy, collagen-rich skin feels. By her 2nd month, the change was remarkable enough that her doctor asked what she was doing differently. When Linda told her, her doctor said, "Keep doing it." That is the most powerful endorsement I can give you. Now, before I reveal the #1 secret, the one enhancement that takes this combination from extraordinary to absolutely revolutionary, I need to ask you something. If this video is giving you hope, if it's opening a door you thought might be permanently closed, please hit the like button right now. It takes 1 second, and it tells me that this kind of content is helping you. Subscribe if you haven't. And share this with a woman in your life who needs to hear it, because too many women over 60 are suffering in silence with skin concerns they believe are simply the price of getting older. They are not, and they deserve to know that. The number one secret, the addition that transforms this protocol from powerful to almost miraculous, is frankincense essential oil, specifically Boswellia carteri, diluted at a concentration of 2 to 3 drops per teaspoon of your carrier blend. Here is why this is the hidden piece that nobody is talking about. Frankincense contains a group of compounds called boswellic acids, and within the skin, these acids do something that no other natural compound has been demonstrated to do with the same potency. They actively inhibit an enzyme called 5-lipoxygenase, which is the primary driver of chronic, low-grade skin inflammation. Now, this matters enormously for women over 60 because what most people call aging skin is actually, in large part, what scientists now call inflammaging. The cumulative damage caused by decades of low-grade inflammatory responses in skin tissue, the wrinkles, the discoloration, the sagging, much of this is inflammation. And frankincense, when carried into the dermis by the rosehip and castor oil combination, suppresses that inflammatory cascade at the cellular level while simultaneously stimulating skin cell regeneration through its alpha-pinene and limonene content. Add 2 to 3 drops to your nightly blend. That is it. That is the complete protocol, and it is one of the most powerful anti-aging formulations you can create with ingredients that cost less than $20 combined and carry zero synthetic chemicals. I want to leave you with something that I hope stays with you long after this video ends. Aging is not your enemy. Time is not your enemy. The world has told women, especially women over 60, that they are past their beauty, past their relevance, past their moment to feel radiant. And I'm here to tell you that this is one of the most profound lies ever told to the most powerful demographic on earth. You have earned every year of your life. You have survived losses, raised families, built careers, held communities together. You are not fading, you are not finished. And your skin, your beautiful, living, regenerating skin, still has the capacity to reflect the woman you are on the inside. Vital, luminous, and full of life. 7 days. That's all I'm asking you to give this. 2 oils and 1 drop of ancient wisdom. And then I want you to come back here and tell me what you see in that mirror, because I genuinely believe it will surprise you. Drop your age in the comments right now and tell me, what is the one skin concern you most want to address? I read every single comment. I see every one of you, and you are so much more beautiful than you know.